now it's time for some breaking news. All right. So I'm going to jump right in. We're going to talk about Guns N' Roses a little bit. So Guns N' Roses are coming back, everybody. And you're like, what do you mean? They're doing another tour. They're doing a 5-month tour in 2023 here. The 2003 World Tour. Now they're going to start, and they're going to start overseas and then make their way to America. And they're going to be moving around the whole world, wrapping up in Athens, Greece. When it goes to Europe, when they come to the United States eventually, they're going to be doing Chicago. They'll be going to Philly. They'll be doing a lot of big places. It's going to be great. Guns N' Roses is back. It's only 5 months. If you've never seen them live, this is a great opportunity to see them live. I saw them live with Sabrina before, and they were fantastic at the Dodger Stadium. So if you get a chance.
They really do. They hold up. Over the years, they've held up. Definitely
right?
worth a go see, for sure.
Yeah. We saw them at Dodger Stadium, and they were like, the only grief was they were a little far away. They were sitting like in the outfield, and we were like,
I didn't get better tickets for you, Brian.
That was the bulk of the tickets, though. That was the bulk of the tickets. Like, there was nobody really on the field. So I'm saying, like, I think they would be a little closer. You know what I'm saying? But, they're a lot of fun live. That's all I can say. So if you get a chance to check them out, Guns N' Roses are coming back.
Axl rivaled Gerard Carmichael this year at the Golden Globes for the most wardrobe changes in a performance. I will just say that. He changed his clothes 1,075 times. I was like, is he in another outfit?
Yep. Yes, he was.
If you're Axl Rose, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, and no one's going to question it. That's for sure.
Nope.
Well, with them coming back, something going away is, and I heard this and I was like, this is happening from the get-go, a Gorillaz movie. Gorillaz, we talked about Planet of the Apes. I'm talking about Gorillaz, the band. So the band Gorillaz had a deal with Netflix, apparently, and it's been scrapped. But it was going to follow their animated band, pretty much, the animated band they created, and it was going to be about their story and their rise to fame. And Netflix said, we're having a lot of cutbacks this year, so we're going to cut your program. So Gorillaz is going away, which, first of all, I'm like, I don't really see this kind of project happening on Netflix. I guess with their animation department might be cool, but like, they don't have a lot of music stuff like this. So you think this would be a good niche, but then again, it's Gorillaz. It's Gorillaz. Like, I don't know, who's caring about a Gorillaz movie? Somebody out there. I like the band, but it ain't happening, guys. That's all
I
I'm
like
saying.
the animation, though. They have some cool animation. Like, I feel like there's potential.
Yeah, I think it could be cool.
Yeah, their animation is great, right? Eden, have you ever listened to Gorillaz before?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's, like, that much story behind them other than whatever, like, fictional images they've created for themselves. So I guess the movie...
Well, we would get to know more, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It could have been like their whole like story maybe as a band, but in animation form in a way. Or they could have, you know how it goes. They always like blow things out of proportion a little bit. They kind of make them larger than life. So it might be something where they take their initial story and blow it up and it's even better and it's animation. And I like their music videos were really cool with the animation. So it might have been something really fun. And the music would have been great. We know that, right? They probably would have used all original music. Would have been fun. But
they better
Netflix,
have. I mean, come on. Could you imagine? I'd be like, wait a minute, you're outsourcing the music of my musical show?
You never know, though. You never know. But Netflix said, nah, we're not going to do it, which, again, maybe it'll go someplace else. Maybe somebody will be like, hey, this is a great idea. I didn't hear about this. Like, we're talking about. And they'll be like, let's bring it over to Hulu, or let's bring it over to Crackle, or, there's so many different places. I know Crackle is probably a really random one to say, but anyways, it's not happening as of now. We will keep you updated if something does happen with that. Something that is happening, though, is Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are going to be actually performing on the new Rolling Stones album, which I'm like, that's a head case for me. I'm like, they're actually going to be performing with the Rolling Stones. Now, apparently they've been in the studio. They've been mixing. Apparently Paul McCartney did a bunch of bass tracks. They're not talking about vocals yet, but some actual like instrumental versions. Ringo's going to pretty much play the drums. And they're not sure how it's going to mix together. Like, it's kind of secretive at this point. If they'll actually have, this Beatles resurgence in a way, working on the same tracks together, we don't really know yet. We'll have to wait until they actually come out with more details when the album gets closer. But the fact that Mick Jagger was able to get them together and actually work together is pretty amazing. And I can't wait to hear what it's going to be like. Because it's one of those things, I don't think they've ever worked with the Stones before. And the fact
it's kind of ironic, the Stones and the Beatles, like in that era, you were either a Stones gal or a Beatles gal. Like there were like kind of took sides almost, you know what I mean? So cool. That's so late in life that they're kind of coming together on that front. But that was like a big thing. Like, if you were a loyal Beatles fan, you were not a Stones fan. Not. It's not like you didn't like them, but you were a Beatles person.
It could
What I
be.
mean, or vice versa.
Yeah,
Even
I mean they're very
shaking her
different.
head. She knows she's 12.
Yeah, but I was a Beatles girl, not a
Me too,
Rolling
baby.
Stones
Me too.
person. So
Yeah, the Beatles are
But
fantastic.
you
They
know
were
the Stones make
amazing.
good music, right?
yeah, I mean, there's definitely some songs. I didn't use my time to listen to them as much as I did with the Beatles, though. So
The Beatles are legendary.
yeah,
Well, there's a lot of music, Eden. You can always check it out anytime you want on Apple Music or Spotify or Amazon Music or anywhere you get your local music. So it's out there. It's a lot of fun. They have
Way
some
to
great stuff.
plug the Stones, bud. I like your move.
I plug everybody. I just plug it right away. Like, why not? Maybe one day they'll pay us. Who knows? But with that happening, I also want to talk about, and I want to do this briefly, about Alec Baldwin. So Alec Baldwin's back in the news again, and apparently they're going to be dropping the opportunity to send him to jail for 5 years. Yep, that's going away. So he's still facing involuntary manslaughter charges. That's still happening. But the second degree charge, or his second charge, is going away. And with that goes away the opportunity to put him away for 5 years. Now, this just came out today. It's a big win for his defense team. They came out, they've been like arguing back and forth. It's all about the gun. They're like, we should not have to be like, in the news, we shouldn't have to be like charged for this because this is not right. And they went back and forth, and the DA eventually threw it out. They threw it out. But I mean, he's still being charged. He could get up to 6 months in jail, not 5 years though. He could still get the charges. The fact is, he could still have some issues, legal issues with this. But overall, it's not like Alec Baldwin's going to jail for 5 years anymore. I think he can get up to a $5,000 fine. It was 18 months in jail, actually, he could get. And it was like a whole firearm enhancement clause, and that's what they were going after. And since that's being dropped, he won't be fine with all that jail time. So he'll still get a fine maybe, and we'll see where this develops, but it's moving forward, and we're not really sure what's going to happen. And yeah, GR, he might not get shit, Initially, I thought that this was going to be one of those things where they would maybe try and make an example out of him, but the DA is already dropping stuff, so we'll see how it goes. Sabrina, I think your side's doing what my side was doing before, which is really weird.
It is, and it's really annoying. I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to mute yourself when I switch. You can't
change slides. Oh, so I'm gonna be psychic and trying to make this happen. Okay, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, yes. So we'll see what happens with Alec Baldwin. We're gonna move on though, because we've talked about Baldwin enough. We really have. I mean, we'll keep you updated when they actually get to some trial updates. But as of now, he might not go to jail for 5 years now. So that's the big update. So also, I want to talk about some CBS renewals, I should say. So CBS had a lot of renewals today. They came out, said they're doing Survivor season 45. They're doing The Amazing Race season 36. Tough as Nails season 6. Lingo, which is RuPaul's new show. They're doing a second season. And that's like after only being on the air for like 1 month. And they're like, okay, cool. We're going to bring it back. It's happening. NCIS, CSI Las Vegas, NCI Hawaii. I mean, all these programs, of course, are coming back. They're huge hits for CBS. So I mean, I get it, of course, but there are a couple projects that are big for them that they're not renewing yet. Now, these are all new, like early renewals, pretty much, everybody. But the ones that aren't officially renewed yet are Blue Bloods, SWAT, and another show called, East New York, which I've never heard of. Again, it's another cop show. They have so many cop shows, CBS. Like, can we calm the fuck down with our cop shows? That's all I'm saying. But anyway, so the problem with Blue Bloods and SWAT is they're still waiting to find out like if they can work out the budget for these products. Because right now they've been having a lot of things like cut your budget. It's too much money. We need to downsize. And if you downsize enough, then we'll sign you on for new seasons. And for Blue Bloods, it'll be season 14. And like SWAT has been going on forever. I mean, it's an opportunity for them if they can figure it out. But for me, I don't know. Sabrina, do you watching these shows? Do you think that this is like exciting and all? Or do you kind of like, well, CBS, whatever? We can't hear you.
I muted because of the sound issue. If I'm being honest, when you said Blue Bloods, that was like, I really thought that was off the air for at least 5 years now. Like, I'm in shock that show is still on. But if it's been on for 14 seasons, like maybe leave it the fuck alone. It's like the new Law and Order. Like, I don't know. I'm literally in shock that that's still happening.
Well, the 13th is airing right now.
Shamar popped off of Criminal Minds, and jumped into doing SWAT. And it's, you know what? There's two, like, legal shows and cop shows do very well.
Yeah.
Procedural shows, like, they do very well. Like, and even Grey's Anatomy made like an ER, like hospital shows, like procedural shows do well. So I mean, I think it would be odd if they didn't go for another season, only because it's been working for so long. Like, and no one likes to take a chance on new ideas, unfortunately. They'd prefer to recycle shit. So
And it's their bread and butter. It's their bread and butter. And I know what's East New York was blah blah blah, and the other two are okay. Yeah, I get that. I can see that. And I know
Eden, have
the
you
big
seen either of those shows?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I know.
They're so not even important to me.
Don't worry, Eden. I have the shows that you're
Amen.
probably super excited about that are coming back right now. You're super excited about 60 Minutes and 48 Hours are coming back for their 55th and their 36th
Hello,
seasons.
Brian.
And right, Eden, you're super excited about 60 Minutes, right?
I could not wait to even hear you talk about it.
Of course, these have been
Count the
going on.
minutes until you got to the 60 minutes, because
Yeah.
that jazz.
But these are staple news programs for CBS, so yeah, they're not going anywhere. It's just a standard renewal. So the thing is, for CBS, all this stuff is standard. Though I imagine they'll renew all three of those other programs at the flick of a dime before you know it, because honestly, it's what they do and it works for their demographics. So I'm not surprised by any of this news. One thing I did hear that I was surprised about, though, was Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson was up for James Bond. This was a thing, everybody. He was up for James Bond back in the 90s. He came out in an interview recently, and he said that he was contacted several times to play Bond, but he had to turn it down. This was right after he came off of the nomination for Best Actor for Schindler's List. And they're like, this guy's the next Bond. So they contacted him over and over again. And at first he's like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like, James Bond, why not? At that point in his career, could be a huge opportunity for him. Think about how many movies he would have done. But his girlfriend at the time said, if you become James Bond, we're not getting married. So Liam Neeson said to himself, I love her so much, I will not be 007. And he said he made a little joke about how he came up behind her and he's like holding his hand like a gun. He's like, dun, 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 I won't do it, dun, 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 dun. I don't know, something like that. But anyways, Eden, let me ask you, do you know Liam Neeson at all? And what do you think about him being James Bond? Or are you like, who the hell is this guy?
No, I know who he is, but I guess he does not have the image I would, put with 007. I mean, even just the photo that was just popped up on the screen, he kind of looks homeless to me. And when you think of James Bond, you think of the lady killer, the one who gets all the chicks. He's super slick and well dressed and wealthy. I don't see Liam Neeson like that at all.
Yeah, and that's what his girlfriend at the time was like too. You're not going to be with all these different women. She was like, and play this character and be this ladies' man. But he really wasn't the ladies' man back then. Anyways, he still had these very character type like parts he was playing. Look at Darkman. It was so different than this, like James Bond putting him into this character. Like I don't really know, but I was still fascinated because of the kind of spy stuff he's done later in his career with Taken, where he's like an ex-spy and he has all these set of skills, and the fact that maybe he could have played James Bond and played it in a different way, we never would have known. But Pierce Brosnan, as Rachel said, was a great James Bond. So I'm excited we got him. Sabrina, what do you think? Would you have been excited to see Liam Neeson play 007? Or are you like, we're better off without him?
I'm definitely not going to say we're better off without Liam Neeson. He's an amazing actor and I enjoy his work. He was, ironically, you mentioned Schindler's List, which he had just come off, and he was spectacular in that movie. I feel like Pierce Brosnan was the right choice. And also, GR, I take offense to you saying dump that bitch, okay? An amazing woman. They had a very long life together until she passed, rest her soul. And they were together like two little lovebirds, like Paul and Stella McCartney, until she passed. So I think he made the right choice because he had the love of his life by his side. And even though that meant turning down James Bond, he has had an illustrious career with amazing roles that he's played that people, many actors would wish that they had the career that he had. So I don't think it affected him at all. He kept his relationship, and secretly, I think if he took the role, she wouldn't have broken up with him. But just saying.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, who knows? And the fact is, like he was saying, that's a tough, like GR was saying, that's a tough call though, to still like turn down being 007. And then think about his career. His career didn't really have a lot of hits after that. Like he did a few things, but if he would have been 007, he might have had a whole different career path because he went away for years. And then it was the Taken movies that kind of brought him back to make him this action star out of nowhere in like his 60s, you know? So for him, he might have had a little break there, but then again, he had that time with the love of his life. So there's a trade-off for you. Maybe it was worth it overall because it's hard to get that time as an actor. It just is. But I was surprised to hear this. I really was. And you know, end of the day, I think I would have been cool with him being 007. Would it have lasted a long time? I don't know. He might have been one of those flash in the pan, done one and been it, you know?
This is for GR. He said I'm entitled to be wrong.
But being wrong is not one of them. That's what she says. I have my own faults.
Just wanted to show you my sign. That was my grandfather's, and now it's mine because I earned it.
But yes, I agree, Sabrina. That's a great philosophy. That's a great philosophy. But you know, he's not 007. It didn't happen. He still has had a great career. He became Obi-Wan Kenobi. Qui-Gon Jinn. He became Qui-Gon Jinn. He had a great career, or he's had a great career, and that man's not done.
It's literally another language.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Mugu Gai Pan.
And one person that's definitely not.
Noodles.
You call it noodles? Noodles? Why noodles?
Because Mugu Gai Pan is a noodle dish, isn't it? Or a vegetable dish?
Don't know.
Come on, help me out.
Come on, Eden, you got that?
This sounds Chinese. I'm the wrong person for this.
It definitely is Chinese, but there's Korean Chinese food. You taught me that. They don't have Mugu Gai Pan.
I don't have a response to any of this. I don't know.
No one does. And what do you mean he was dark? What does that mean?
Maybe dark man, maybe is that, or maybe because he's more brooding, you know, for 007. Because you think about how suave and, you know, and upbeat 007 is. He has to play this ladies' man. I mean, Liam Neeson could do it. He's a good actor, but it wasn't meant to be. A lot of this times happen. It's like when they had Nick Cage up for Superman. End of the day, how would Nick Cage have been Superman? I don't think it would have been that great.
No.
I would have loved to see it, but Nick Cage flying through, being like, we're finally do that.